Marilyn Monroe, the woman who defined beauty, fame, and desire in the 1950s, lived a life that seemed like every dream come true. But behind the flashbulbs and red carpets, her world was one of deep loneliness, manipulation, and secrets darker than anyone imagined. From her earliest years, Norma Jean endured a childhood without stability. Her mother's mental illness placed her in foster homes, leaving Marilyn craving love and validation she would never truly find. As she rose to stardom, Hollywood turned her into a product, bleaching her hair, reshaping her image, and using her as a fantasy figure while ignoring her pain. Monroe's relationships with powerful figures, including the Kennedy brothers, pulled her into dangerous political games. Studio heads exploited her, and the constant pressure to stay perfect pushed her into a spiral of addiction and depression. Her mysterious death in 1962 shocked the world, found alone in her home, surrounded by empty pill bottles. Many believe it wasn't suicide, but rather a cover-up tied to the secrets she knew. Marilyn Monroe's life remains one of Hollywood's most tragic, a reminder that fame often hides unbearable pain. Howard Hughes, the billionaire who lost his mind. Howard Hughes was a symbol of power, brilliance, and excess. A movie mogul, aviator, and billionaire, he had everything a man could dream of. But behind his genius was a horrifying descent into madness that few could comprehend. Hughes began as a visionary filmmaker, creating aviation epics and investing millions to reshape Hollywood. Yet as his success grew, so did his fear of germs, betrayal, and the world itself. He locked himself in dark hotel rooms for months, refusing to be touched or even seen. By the 1950s, Hughes' obsessive-compulsive disorder controlled his every move. He stored his urine in bottles, demanded endless medical procedures, and spent his final years completely isolated. He communicated only through notes, and watched movies on a loop for days, terrified of reality. Despite his brilliance, Howard Hughes became a prisoner of his own mind, a tragic symbol of how genius can turn into insanity when left unchecked. His life was both a masterpiece and a warning of what happens when power meets paranoia. Judy Garland, the star who was never free. Judy Garland's voice lit up the world in The Wizard of Oz, but her real life was far from a fairy tale. From childhood, she was treated as property, controlled, drugged, and manipulated by the very people who built her career. At just 13, MGM studio executives put her on a strict regimen of diet pills by day and sleeping pills by night. They forced her to maintain a perfect image, never gaining weight, never resting, never saying no. The studio owned her every smile, every breath. Behind the cameras, Judy was exhausted, emotionally broken, and desperate for escape. She turned to substances to survive the impossible demands. Failed marriages, financial struggles, and public breakdowns followed her for years. Her powerful voice made the world believe she was unstoppable, but inside, she was crumbling. In 1969, Judy Garland died at just 47, alone, her body overwhelmed by years of abuse and addiction. Her story remains one of the darkest reminders of Hollywood's cruelty, the cost of fame that no one should have to pay.